Welcome to the HomeKit 5 podcast. We talk every week about the latest news in the Apple ecosystem for smart homes. I'm your host, Josh Owens, along with my co-host, Brayden Owens. Enjoy the show. Welcome back to HomeKit 5 podcast. I'm Josh.
I'm Brayden.
This week we're going to talk about the level lock 13.3.1 and HomeKit routers are starting to show up. So before we dive into it, I just want to say thanks again for listening. We really appreciate it. It seems like our audience is growing. Hopefully you're enjoying the show. If you are, be sure, if you're on YouTube, give it a thumbs up or subscribe to the channel. And if you're listening on your various platforms like Spotify or Overcast or anything like that, make sure you subscribe there too. And if you leave us a review on iTunes, do follow up with us and let us know. And I'm always available on Reddit as well. I tend to post stuff there. And we actually had someone reach out to us. LightsD, I guess was his nickname. And he let us know that he actually has some of the one-leak alarms that we talked about last week in the episode. And he's got about 6 of them installed in his house. And he said he loves it. So there you go. Like he pointed out that if you already have the wiring, it's very easy to install. You get a whole house audio system, pre-wired, and it's kind of like out of the way, out of sight, out of mind type of situation. And he said they sound pretty good. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I was glad we had that conversation. All right. So first up, let's talk about the level lock. You want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. So the Level Lock, they have decided to start shipping out their locks, which, have we talked about the Level Lock before?
I don't think we have.
Okay, so I'll just kind of explain it. So it's basically just a lock. It's a smart lock that goes into your pre-existing lock fittings.
Yeah,
so
it's like the innards of the deadbolt. So you just you take your deadbolt apart, and then you put this piece in the middle, and then it operates just like a normal deadbolt would, but it gives you like the HomeKit kind of turn support there, where you can tell it to lock, and it'll put the I don't know what you call that, the actual lock part out.
Yeah. So they're starting shipping for their early supporters, for the earliest of pre-orders. Yeah, that's really about it.
Yeah, so they have a reserve program, I think is what it is. It's not actually a pre-order.
Oh, yeah.
You just sign up and say you're interested, and they're starting to ship those now. They're starting to give people the ability to purchase those. So, the screenshot we saw on Reddit didn't give a date, just said very soon you're going to be able to actually go order them. I actually hadn't heard of the Level Lock. I went ahead and signed up for the reserve program, but I'm probably way at the back of the line. I actually think I like the look of this a little bit better than the August Wi-Fi that's coming out, because the August Wi-Fi kind of goes over your existing lock. This one actually replaces the guts, so it just looks like a normal lock, which is pretty cool, but it gives you all that smart home functionality that you want. My question is, I wonder what kind of battery this thing has, right? Because it's if I think about the Yale Assure lock, that thing has a big outer piece, I guess inner piece on that inside of the house that houses 4 AA batteries that I can get to easily to change it out. But this Level Lock, I mean, it's made to fit inside the lock. That's got to be using one of those CR232 batteries or something.
Yeah.
I wonder what kind of, life you get out of that. That would potentially be a problem. The other thing that I think is super interesting is that it was recently announced that the Walmart in-home delivery will be working with Level Lock. So that's something you'll be able to install, and then you can have that creepy feature where they come into your house and put the groceries in your fridge for you, and it'll work with the Level Lock automatically. Are you excited for that?
I don't know how I feel about that. That seems not right. Exactly.
Yeah, that seems even more creepy than the Amazon key where they can like open your garage door and then put the box inside your garage. That feels a little less invasive, but this is like, hey, we're gonna get in your fridge. Like, I don't know, that just seems weird to me. But I am very excited to see this product come to market and kind of see how it works. I've had kind of a mixed bag with smart locks, so I'm excited for this one, but at the same time, like, you know, we've had our share of problems with them in the past. The Yale that we have now has been really, really great though. So anyway,
scroll up.
Scroll up.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, it explodes
Look at that.
apart. Oh yeah.
So in the
There's
lock,
a battery in the bolt, the part that extends out. That's crazy.
that is actually pretty cool.
Yeah. They have like this exploded view when you actually click into the product. Yeah, so the actual barrel that extends out. Oh, that would make it very easy to replace a battery, I would think. So
Definitely.
it looks like it takes one of those single CR2 battery. So I think it would. And then it looks like the cap kind of screws off the barrel, the lock barrel piece when it's extended out, and then you can pull the battery out and then replace it pretty easily. That is actually quite clever.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, I guess we got the answer to that question. They still don't really say anything about overall longevity of the battery or the lock, but
yeah.
They also don't. Do they say whether it's Wi-Fi or not? Bluetooth. Auto unlock, notifications, automations.
I mean, it says remote entry, but that requires a hub.
Yeah. Anyway, kind of cool. All right, let's move on to the next story. iOS 13.3.1 is out.
Yeah, I updated my phone. I don't know when, like Thursday, and I haven't really noticed anything. Just besides like I read through the change log, and it's just minuscule stuff, like just normal iOS stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing really HomeKit related that I read.
Yeah, that was weird. They didn't put anything HomeKit related in logs. Maybe it was in the tvOS logs, but I have noticed that now I upgraded to iOS 13.3.1. The home automations didn't seem to start working again with Apple TV as a HomeKit hub. I hadn't updated the Apple TV yet, so I went ahead and did that and then tested again. So it's on tvOS.
It's
13.3.1. It's the same.
Yeah.
And then my HomeKit automation started working again. So I was super happy about that. And then I have noticed some weirdness, but we do have this Apple TV down here in the office. It's in standby for the HomeKit Home. So I went ahead and upgraded that today. It seems like the shortcuts are still there. They're still working, but then like you come back in and it says like no shortcut there. But then when you click into it, the whole thing's there. Yeah, it's really kind of weird. That might still be a little bug that's hanging around, but a lot of people are reporting that they're getting more stability in HomeKit with this release, and some people are seeing the tvOS hub automations start to work again. But some people are still having trouble. Just kind of looking through the Reddit threads. It doesn't seem like it's 100% fixed, but it does seem like it's better. I did have some weirdness though after I upgraded. Everything was fine. I actually tried like a HomeCam beta. That seemed fine. We were actually testing out. So we did that video about EufyCam. We were testing out the EufyCam on HomeCam Plus, and it turns out that the EufyCam can only actively stream one camera to you. Instead of two, so it pulls the last screenshot it had for the second camera, and then if you go to view one live, you can switch to the other camera, but then like the other one's no longer streamable at that point. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And what happened is a couple days after I upgraded 13.3.1, played around with HomeCam, and then all of a sudden the EufyCams fell out. Both of them fell out of HomeKit.
Oh yeah.
And the base was still there as a bridge. I could see it. But when I went into the EufyCam app, the Eufy security app, I was able to. I went into the HomeKit section. And it was like, oh, do you want to add this as a bridge back? And I said yes. And then it was like, oh, that bridge is already there. So I removed the bridge completely, and then went back to the Eufy security app, re-added it, and everything seemed to come back fine. But then I lost my automations related to that when it got removed. So that was a bit of a bummer. But everything seems to be working fine again now, so that problem seems somewhat solved, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, you want to take the next one?
Yeah. So some of the HomeKit routers are being I guess announced, right? Would that be it?
In the case of the Linksys, it looks like they're now saying that it's HomeKit compatible. I don't think if anyone has an actual it's the Velop. I guess that's how you say that.
Yeah, Velop.
The Envelop mesh system is now saying that it's HomeKit compatible. But I haven't seen anyone actually saying, like on Reddit or anywhere, saying that like it's showing up. I have seen a number of people. I'm in a HomeKit Slack and on Reddit. They've reported screenshots of the Eero mesh system is now showing up in the Home app as an accessory you can add. The problem is you don't have a HomeKit code yet, and it also says it isn't certified. So it seems like they still have some stuff to go through with Eero to get that working. And really, the HomeKit, it looks like what it does is the HomeKit router functionality would allow you to say like, oh, this device can have this kind of access to my network or to the internet. And it looks like there's kind of 3 settings there you can control. I'd be very curious to see how it actually all works. I'd love to play around with it. I love networking. And I have been putting more thought into the networking because I feel like we're getting a lot more Wi-Fi devices in the house, and that's starting to degrade like the normal like phone and computer experience. So I wonder if there's going to be any segmentation or like, can you just like push them off to one radio so they're not like using all your Wi-Fi radios? Because if you're not familiar with it, when you're on Wi-Fi, generally, like the access point here in the office has 2 radios in it. There's like a 5G and a 2.4 gigahertz radio, 5 gigahertz radio, 2.4 gigahertz radio, and only one person can talk to that particular radio at any given time in the access point. So it's like I think we have a total of 5 actual radios that you could talk to, but as we're getting up there to like 30 plus Wi-Fi devices, plus everyone's laptops and phones and tablets, like it seems like it's starting to get clogged up. So I've been thinking about like segmenting off, create a VLAN, just put one, smart device hub there that has one radio that it could all talk to. That way our other radios are free for people actually like doing higher bandwidth stuff maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. That is all the news we have this week. And I know we kind of talked a little bit about the EufyCam last week. We'll go ahead and put a link in the show notes to that video. It's quite popular on YouTube right now. I think we're almost up to 400 views on it.
Yeah.
So appreciate everyone watching that. And we are super excited. I think we're going to put up the Yale Sherlock kind of setup and review video this week. So stay tuned for that. And we'll definitely hit you guys up in the next episode. And for those that did maybe get the early episode, there was a bit of an audio snafu We figured out what the problem was. You use like a
Truncate audio feature.
yeah, it was supposed to like find the silences and clip it down, but we had it set too aggressively, and we did fix that. But there were 50 or so people that did download kind of a crappy quality audio file. If you did get one of those, I think you can. I tested it in Overcast. I was able to just remove that particular download, go back into the like all feed, and then tell it to pull it over. So if you don't have the good quality version, I think you can just delete it and re-download it, or go listen on the Anchor website directly, and it has the newer one up there. So I guess we can just check real quick. We got got another one. Parge73 said audio is skippy this week, even after you mentioned you worked on the audio on the podcast. Yes, exactly. That did happen. They reviewed it Monday, so sorry about that, Parge. We did figure out what it was. We did get it fixed, so hopefully that's getting better. But we love reading these reviews and seeing them pop up. So if you do go onto the podcast app, not iTunes,
Yes.
and leave us a review there, that would be awesome. We very much appreciate that. And then again, if you want to support the show, the other way that you can do it besides leaving a review is just use any Amazon links we put up on the show notes. Use those. It's no extra cost to you. We have affiliate links. We get a little bit of kickback off that, and it's an easy way for you guys to support the show. So thanks again for listening, and tune back in next week. Bye.